We are joined today with Mr. Bill Angel out of Lima, OSU. Yeah. And today we're going to talk about these classified documents that have been being found all over the place. It started with President Trump in Mar-a-Lago, and then our current President Biden had some discovered there, and even Vice President Pence had some in his home. What's going on with these things?
Well, I think it's different. It's different in each case. But with Biden's case, the fact of the matter that he has had, there were documents going back to like when he was president.
Still a senator.
When he was a senator even.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is I think we classify a lot of documents. We classify digital transmissions now. And so it's like 50,000 in 2017 classification decisions. And so a lot of classified documents. And some of it just got mixed up and stuff, especially when you get into the transition from one president to another. And that chaotic transition between Biden and Trump was really, really bad. That Biden couldn't even get into the White House, for example, until the last minute. So the fact of the matter is I think there's just a lot of chaos that happened in this case.
I think a lot of people are probably asking the same question, though. Why are these documents just freely allowed to kind of leave without someone being an oversight person?
That's where the Biden team, I think, is somewhat at fault, because they found there were several troves. The first trove was found on November 2nd, a week before the election. And his team decided, only a few people decided that it would be best to simply turn things over to the archives, let the archives turn it over to the Justice Department and deal with it that way and not say anything. And then in late December, there was a second trove was discovered in Biden's home in Delaware, and then a summer home also in Delaware. And so more documents came out. And that's about the time that later in January, in early January, CBS reports about the first trove, but not the second trove. And so all of a sudden you get this almost seems like an avalanche of discoveries, which has been going on for some time. And the Biden team thought that they would simply turn it over to the archives, let the archives turn it over to justice, let the process work, which would contrast with the way Trump dealt with this situation before in terms of trying to lock it down and claiming he was being victimized and all that with a forced seizure of his home.
I guess the question moving forward would be, why isn't the National Archives just responsible from the word go and handling everything? They should know what is classified, what is not classified, so why are they not just there from the word go?
Because ultimately it's a Justice Department decision to find out what was going on here. And that's the way the Biden team chose to handle it. The Justice Department handle it, keep it quiet, not say anything about it, but what you get is this sort of drip, drip, drip that came out. And it was sort of a miscalculation on their part because, you know, what happened was the American people say, well, Trump had secret documents in his home, Biden has secret documents in his home, what's the diff? And I think that was kind of a miscalculation on the part of the Biden team.
How do you keep this from happening in the future? That's the question.
Well, the question is how bad it is. I mean, the thing is, there may be the thing the Biden team wants to draw here long term is that they handled it the way it should have been handled. They went through channels, they reported it, they didn't fight the search and seizure and things like that, and so they went through it the normal way. But Trump, someone hoping it will contrast. But right now, it doesn't look good for Biden because of the way he sort of, especially that business of knowing about it a week before the election and not admitting it, makes it look bad in the eyes of the American people.
This is going to be interesting to keep our eyes on in the future, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
All right, Dr. Bill Angel, we thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back with more right after this.